Church history, I've always said, is the easiest and funnest thing to teach in the curriculum because students' expectations are quite low. Once they are exposed to the material, they have all these discoveries and realizations about the Christian past they didn't realize were actually quite relevant to your life. The other nice thing about church history is that it's sort of a safe opportunity to train yourself in how to listen to other people. You're far away from them in time, you're distant past. You can say, you make critical judgments about their decisions, their thoughts. It's a perfect space to train people on how to listen carefully, how to think about the way that space and time and culture shapes the way we think about things, the way that a tradition moves over time and develops and takes up new questions. And my experience has been once students get into that work and you can open up those questions with them, they, one, gain a delight that I think is really necessary for learning. They have energy and enthusiasm and curiosity, and that puts them in an intellectual space where they can really grow and think something different when they left the classroom than they came in the classroom thinking, which is really the goal. My experience has been students just realize how universal the challenges they have are and how much they have in common with people in the past. What I think sets United apart is that in the classroom, we refuse to admit the dichotomy thinking to enter in. Because an intellectual challenge is also a spiritual challenge. The challenge to read carefully, to take time, is also a challenge of the soul to be patient, to practice virtue, to manifest courage, for instance, and faith, to develop hope. I think all of these things are intertwined in us as human beings. And so to develop intellectually apart from spiritual development is nonsensical in my view. And my experience has been in the classroom, if you're doing really rigorous intellectual work like I was trained to do and like I train students to do, all you have to do is open up the spiritual side of what's going on there. It's just when you suppress it, the problem arises. But you open it up and you say, what's going on inside of you as you face this intellectual challenge? What opportunity do you have to grow in faithfulness to the calling God's placed in your life here? Just open that space up. I find the deeper integration of the person emerges. The THD program is really sort of an interesting experimental incubator for us. We wanted to develop a completely unique program that would meet the needs of the church in the future by training scholars who will have their identity grounded in the church and its future renewal. But we wanted to do it in a way that gave them those skills with an inflection of interest and thinking about and discovering together with us how to bring those to bear on the renewal of the church. I have a deep conviction that the Christian faith is an all-encompassing project for every one of us. That is to say, every moment of our every day is a potential opportunity to offer our prayers, our labors, our joys, our sufferings as ways to grow in likeness of Christ, to practice our faith in Christ. A lot of what I want my students to experience is, and the classroom is actually a good place to practice this, it's not just drudgery that we're there. We're not just doing work. It is hard, but it's an opportunity to obey Christ, but to discover that obedience is actually not just about doing a list of things, but becoming a person who can embody the virtues of Christ in the world.